Well, this is another one of my compositions. My name is Janette Reyes. I am mother of Diego Daniel Armenta and of Juan Ulysses Diaz. This is in good faith. I am extremely affected. I have medical conditions and too much trauma, consequence of the chains and patterns of treason, of harm, of injuries, and of absurd injustices that have been to and against me, to and against my sons, to and against my siblings, and to and against more family. Extremely painful, traumatic, and very, very painful injustices. This is important. As I mentioned once more, this is in good faith. I have a variety of medical conditions, much trauma, including much nervousness, and because of respiratory conditions, it is difficult sometimes for me to sing and to recite. As human beings, we have the right to stand up for our rights. It is absurd of what has been to and against me and to and against my family. We have medical conditions and much trauma, but we are still human beings. Discrimination against national origin, as I learned through educating myself of rights, is prohibited. It is prohibited. Too much has been to and against me. This is why, with righteous cause, I insist every way possible in good faith as activists of our rights. We are not fake news. This is real life. This is real pain. Here is my song in good faith, Janette's Texan Polka, by Janette Reyes, mother of Diego Daniel Armenta and of Juan Ulysses Diaz. Listen, everybody, to this Texan polka. Rights are important, details important, important this song. Janette's Texan polka, extremely important. Janette's Texan polka, very important is very affected natives of the state of Texas. Janette and Sons, Janette and Sons, innocent are Janette and Sons, three innocent people, for every injustice, to every injustice, from every injustice, and of everyone. Janette and Sons, Janette and Sons, through this Texan polka, Janette is still insisting. Through this Texan polka, Janette is still persisting. Rights are important, details important, important this song. Janette's Texan polka is very important. Janette Reyes too. Juan Ulysses Diaz is also important. And Diego Daniel Armenta as well. Thousands of injustice affecting this family and more of their family for decades has been. We ain't objects. We are Texans. We ain't fake news. We are real. We ain't objects. We are human beings. We ain't puppets. We are Texans. We ain't aliens. We are Texans. Rights are important. Details important. This song is important. Janette's Texan polka is very important. These people important and their family. Janette's siblings are also important, and more of her people are also important, and her friends as well. Patterns of injustice have affected them. Chains of racism and injustice too. Unacceptable. 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 Violations to rights to several generations. Decades of treason against rights and papers. Evidence that proves of their Texan birth, that proves of injustice. Janette and her family are very affected by too much injustice, affected by treason that was for no reason. Racists have abused. Listen, everybody. Listen to this polka. Janette's Texan polka is very important. Rights are important. Civic rights important. Human rights important. Due process important. Government religions must respect of rights. Janette and her sons and more family are very affected. Their rights much neglected. Medical conditions super disrespected. Rights are important. Details important. Through this Texan polka, such affected mother, insisting of rights, persisting a must. There has been death in her family. There has been retaliation. There has been cheating against them. There has been discrimination. There has been conspiracy. There has been too much injustice to this family. Janette's Texan polka is super important. Fabian's Texas too. Janette and her family are very important. Activists of rights, very important are her mother important, and more of her people. Activists of rights are very important. Listen to this polka. Janette's Texan polka. Important this song. Give Janette relief. Give her restitution. Recognize her birth and of her 2 sons. Recognize her siblings and more of her family. This Texan family has medical conditions, is very affected by racism and by treason. Rights are important. Details important. Injustices to them were for no true reason. Injuries and trauma. Too much, yes, has been. Rights are important. Details important. Janette's Texan polka. This song very important. Innocent is people of too far and from this. Janette and sons. Janette and more family. Very affected Texans. Texans, yes, they are. God hates injustice. God hates injustice. Rights are important. Details important. Through this Texan polka, such mother persisting, insisting of rights. Through this Texan polka, this mother from Texas, reaching to more people. Janette and her family, very affected Texans. Janette and family, affected true Texans. Help them, everybody. This is real life. Throughout 2020, her appeal rejected. Details been neglected. This for way too long. Decades were of persecution, and there was retaliation, much trauma and harm to these people. Real was the discrimination. Real was the treason against this amazing family for no real true reason, including the deaths that has been conspiratory. We ain't puppets, we are Texans. We ain't alien, we are Texans. We ain't objects, we are Texans. We are human beings. If you see them, help them. If you know them, help them. If you see them, help them. Please help support them. Respect of their rights. Pray for them as well. Rights are important. Details important. Treason to their papers. unacceptable. Much conspiracy. To pro se has been. To pro se defense. Unacceptable. Pro se defense is very important. Rights are important. Details as well. Details were ignored. Racist, yes, abused. Government religions. More organizations cheated their rights too. Cheating conspirators and racist informants infiltrated pain and too much discord, affected their rights, affected their papers, affected their happiness, affected their peace, affected their harmony, affected their health, affected education, affected mental health. This is bad. This has been absurd. This is wrong. This has been absurd. Through this Texan polka, this affected mother, reaching to more people. Listen, everybody. Various ways. Yes, she has sure tried. Rights are important. Important this song. Important this people. Important this town. Important this polka. Janette's Texan polka. Janette and her family. Let's respect their rights. Recognize their birth. Recognize their papers. Give them more respect. Important details. And pro se defense. Important details. And pro se defense. Rights are important. This polka important. Details important. Janette's Texan polka. Things of real life. Through this Texan polka. Janette's Texan polka. This Texan mother. Insisting of rights. Insisting of rights.